Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the Ghost of McGee Season 2, Episode 10. So yeah, we're finally getting to this one, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this one has in store for us. Um, and interestingly enough, I had a hard time downloading this one. I normally use this mega link uh, from Alphibia. Alphibia is like this group. I'm on their Discord, and they have links to a bunch of different shows when they release new episodes. Molly McGee being one of them, and yeah, I for some reason it wasn't letting me download it. I couldn't figure out why, but whatever. So I just found it on I get my normal cartoon site, Kim Cartoon, and it's just like Kim Cartoon sometimes splits the episodes into multiple parts, and we haven't had that in a while because we've been getting it from the other side, the Mega and all. So it's like now we have to deal with having it in two separate downloads, 10A and 10B. We've done that in the past with episodes, but it's been a while since we've had to. But I couldn't get it through my other means, so it's like this was the best option. So we will have to switch the video between, which sucks ass, but it won't take that much longer. So yeah, I don't know anything about what this episode is about. I've luckily continued to stay away from spoilers, and I'm just excited to see what more we have, because this season has been absolutely great so far. And I really, really hope it continues to be that way. Last time we had stuff with Nin and whatnot was really great. Great to see Bobby again, even if just for a short little bit. And yeah, I'm just hoping for a lot more great stuff to come. We still have some plot points that have been set up and we haven't really either finished yet or actually capitalized on it all. We still have the stuff with Ali and his family. We still have stuff with uh, the Davenport's rival that was set up. A lot of things that are being prepared for. Plus, of course, Scratch and his past we got a glimpse into. That's got to come into play at some point. I'm very, very excited to get to more, though. I think that this season is going to just overall surpass season one, and so far it's already on that path. So, I mean, just the one episode with Libby and Andrea and the period talk alone is one of the best of the series. It was so damn good. And so important for people who have gone through that, or who are kids and who are still going to be going through that, or already have started doing so. It's like it's a great episode for that kind of thing, for the intended young audience. And I love it when stuff can do that. Like I mentioned Turning Red when we did that episode. I mentioned Turning Red also did that, and I love that. Because it's something that kids do need to know about. And displaying it through a cartoon like this, I think is a good idea. Because it allows kids to, like, dial in on it a lot easier than if they were just, like, sat down and told about it. Just because of how kids' attention spans work. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what more they do with those characters, too, of course. Libby and Andrea being my favorite characters, but we'll see. We'll see. There's just an insane amount of possibilities and only so many episodes, you know? That's how it tends to go. But we are just going to get this started and hope for the best. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, Everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I think part of the reason I was able to keep it together, outside of just being able to see where that was going and being able to prepare myself as the episode continued on, but part of the reason was also the fact that it cut away from it in a way that felt wrong. Let me explain. So the episode, the first episode here, 10A, the first segment, I should say, like pretty much all the episodes, has an A plot and a B plot. That was the mistake. This episode should have focused entirely on the stuff with Libby and her father. By splitting it with Molly turtle sitting and having the issue with like losing the turtles and everything, it took away from some of the time and attention that should have been given to this story. And don't get me wrong, the point and the idea is still gotten through well enough with Libby and her father and how neglectful he is, but it's very much still the case of it needed more. Like, it just needed more time to really flesh that out a lot more, because it felt rushed. And I know this is how these episodes tend to go. I know that this is the format that shows like this in general tend to follow, and I understand even why they follow this. But at the same time, it also shows a flaw in the format, because the turtle sitting stuff, let's be honest, was such a heavy tonal distraction from the stuff with Libby and her father. It felt out of place in terms of the comedy that they were going for with it. It felt just not okay, really. Just the way they kept cutting to that from what is clearly like supposed to be a really heavily emotional segment honestly bothered me. And it did take my attention off of the main A plot there enough to keep me from like really having the emotional connection and pull I was supposed to have with this. And I'm not saying that it's bad as a segment or anything. Not by any means is it bad. Like, even the stuff with the turtle sitting is still good quality Molly McGee shit. But the problem is, it really is a tonal, like, destruction of what this episode was showcasing. Like, we're finally learning about Libby's dad, and we see that he's this deadbeat who has put his book and everything ahead of his family and has abandoned them. Like, that's horrific. That's absolutely fucked up. Yet, it just cuts back to this goofy comedy part of the segment with Molly Turtle sitting for Libby. It's like, that feels so out of place. It just takes away a lot of the impact that Libby's story in this has. And it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing because this could have been one of the best episodes of the series. but that does bring it down a little bit. But for what it was still really good, and it was still like really emotional. Like even though I was able to hold a lot of it back, I still cried. I still like I still broke in a way. Just not to the degree that I expected to. When this episode was starting, we were finding out what it was about and everything. And again, it was very easy to tell where this was going. Honestly, you could see it in Leia's reactions. You could see how she was, especially as it continued further on. Like it started off very subtle and everything, but as it continued, it started to become more apparent. Like when she put the father daughter shirts back and everything, and then especially once they were on the road and all, you saw how upset about it she was getting and how worried about Libby she was. It's like, yeah, you could see where this was going, but at the same time, it's like it just didn't capture it to the point I feel it should have. I feel like they should have made. I feel like basically the idea is I feel like Molly was shoehorned into this just because she's the main character. That's honestly how it felt. I honestly feel like it would have been better if after the beginning part, Molly wasn't in the rest of this episode at all. The idea that Molly needs to be in the episode, that the main character needs to be in every episode, is just not correct. It's just bullshit. Libby could easily hold an entire episode on her own. So could Andrea. So could Daryl. These characters are good. They are very good. They can easily handle episodes of their own. They don't need Molly there at all times. There's a lot of shows that are able to do this, that are able to showcase whole episodes without the main character. There's many episodes of One Piece, considering there's so many episodes of One Piece, but there's many episodes that don't have Luffy in them much at all. Or even some at all. I believe there was an episode or two of Owl House that didn't have Luz in it. Or, again, very little Luz. There's just so much opportunity to showcase the other characters as the main character of an episode. And when you have... Excuse me. And when you have a series like this where the side characters are just so well crafted, that's something that should be added in. It's something that we should have that focus on. And I love that. I love that we have that kind of show with characters that are this iconic and wonderful. But we need to actually do that, and we need to actually put the focus on them. And yes, mind you, the stuff with Libby was the A plot. Molly's turtle sitting was the B plot. That is the case, but I really don't think there should have been that B plot. It was just tonally destructive toward the episode. It just didn't work at all. I think that Libby should have, and definitely could have, been able to handle the entirety of the episode on her own. There just did not need to be a B plot at all. But enough ranting about that. Let's talk about the second one here. So our second episode is all about Pete becoming obsessed with TikTok, and they call it like Click Clock in the show because of obvious reasons. But I'm just gonna say TikTok for the remainder of this, just to be, let's be honest, be like accurate. It's just TikTok. So Molly and Pete decide, in order to continue helping in Happify Brighton and doing good around town, they're going to try to get people's attention by utilizing TikTok. They're going to do TikTok dances and whatnot, mostly Pete, where it gets people's attention and lets them hear about and understand about all of these important things going on around town. And it works. It works excellently. But Pete eventually becomes more obsessed with the fame and the dancing and starts to lose track of why he was doing it. Now, mind you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying doing TikTok. Whether you're dancing, whether you're doing other stuff. I have a TikTok. I mentioned it in the reaction. I pointed to the link. I have a TikTok. I mostly do like random little filter videos, like ranking characters and whatnot. But I've put up a lot of like Tears of the Kingdom videos and stuff as well. Various things like that. I put up videos when I was at TrotCon, the same ones that are YouTube shorts on the channel. I put them up on TikTok as well. So, but yeah, it's like there's nothing wrong with enjoying doing TikTok and making a name for yourself there and whatnot. But again, the reason that they were doing this in the first place was to raise awareness for these issues around town, kind of going in line with Pete's job as a city planner. And they did this all for a cause. So to lose track of that, it does suck. And I understand why Molly is trying to get him back on track with that. And so, yeah, they have to try and convince him to calm the fuck down and remember why he was doing this in the first place. And so they stage an intervention, but he's not paying attention. He's too obsessed with TikTok, so they have to do a second intervention on TikTok to get his attention. And it works. He agrees to stop. His personal dance trainer pieces out. And he's no longer just completely obsessed with TikTok anymore. It's an interesting episode that touches on social media culture and shows that while not necessarily toxic or anything, you can get lost in the obsession of the popularity and fame of it all. And this goes not just with TikTok, but all social media. It goes with Twitter, goes with I guess Threads now can count for that, even though that's still just brand new at this point. YouTube even. Getting obsessed with this kind of stuff is always going a little too far. You have to be able to reel yourself back in. If you're past the point of being able to do that, that is the problem. And that's what this was going for. It's not saying that social media and enjoying posting to social media and everything is bad. Hell, even liking being popular on social media is not bad. It's just saying that if you get too obsessed, it can take over your life. You have to be able to reel yourself back in so that you don't lose yourself to it. And that's a good message. That's a good way to look at it. Because I've seen so often where a lot of people just like to demonize social media. They'll demonize Twitter or YouTube or TikTok and act like the apps themselves are the problem, when that's very much not the case. Obsession is the problem. Unhealthy obsession with the popularity and the fame and the apps themselves. It's like that's what causes the problems, not just the apps. You can enjoy using the apps. You can have fun with them. You can enjoy the popularity and everything that comes from them. I know I'm repeating myself a lot here, but I'm making a point. I'm trying to hammer it in. You can enjoy all of that stuff and still be fine, as long as you understand that it's just for fun. Like, when I do my TikToks and stuff, yeah, it's just for fun. I do like usually 2 a day. usually right around lunchtime. I'll record them real quick, post them, and then maybe throughout the day I'll check my views and comments and whatnot maybe twice. Sometimes a little more than that if I'm bored. But usually I'm focusing on other stuff. I don't let I don't let it create an obsession. And the same goes for other social media. Like YouTube as an example. It's like I don't craft an obsession with this. In fact, there's a lot of times where I would rather be doing something else. That's why I have the current format on the channel where it's like, oh, I only record what I want to record at any given time and only when I want to do so. I I go by my own schedule instead of having a strict daily schedule, and I think it's helped out a lot. It allows me to like focus myself on other things as well. I don't have to like force myself into any routine that I'm going to get sick of, you know? Um so yeah, both of these segments were pretty darn good. My only issue is the fact that the first segment really should have just been about Libby. The stuff with Molly and the turtle sitting was honestly just not really working. And again, it's not even that it's bad. It just doesn't work because it takes away too much attention and whatnot away from the actual A plot. That again just needed a lot more to it. Um, though the fact that they did this and the fact that this is still a thing, it's going to help. Just like with a lot of things in the show, it's going to help a lot of the kids going through this, and just I guess people in general who have gone through this kind of thing. Um, Kids are going to be able to connect and relate to Libby here, and that's hard. That's very hard, and something no kid should have to go through. But the fact that they're going to be able to relate to this is going to help. That kind of stuff is definitely a positive. So yeah, I'm I definitely enjoyed this. Just had that one issue, but tell me in the comments below, what did you think of episode 10 of Ghost of McGee season 2? Let me know your thoughts down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.